can't find anything else, and they gotta skirt around Jackie here, who is still the true raid boss in this game. There is no real good Morphling answer unless Slark is stealing the stats from him, which we have not seen connect yet. So Bleed back in a position to fight. No Ravage up for Azure.
Hit by the meteor. Ice tried to jump in and
look at FY back here
real quickly. And FY
there's a lot of mines.
Oh
my God, he's gone!
Oh, he's dead! Oh,
Jackie
set it up with the mine sign too. FY completely solos Jackie with one move, and that is going to be Roshan. That is going to be more kills as DJ is likely to die as well. They get the lasso on Dubu, pulling him back into his death. Oh no. What a way to lose control of this game.
Well,
There's
your OS Frog Morphling. Snap and he's gone. If you blink, you miss it. 4 mines sends him back to the drafting board. As AR say, counters for what? I'm just gonna blow him the hell up. I cannot believe that worked.
On a small note of important.
I'm joined by Fear, Winter, and Rezo. Rezo, this game shows how just a couple of things can really have that butterfly effect work in and everything get out of control.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Like, I've played this game professionally for 10 years, but I've never seen this specific moment in game. You know, it just changes completely the way, you know, the things we're doing in the game. But I want to mention that, you know, Bleed Esports, they had the lead for the majority of this game, but they couldn't like seem to be able to pressure Azure as much as they wanted to with this, you know, Morphling Aghanim's pick up, the BKB and Mars having Blink as well. They just managed to find these fights that they were looking for, and you know, Azure in the meantime, they just was getting their items peacefully. Slark was getting bigger and bigger, and at some point, yeah, this 4 mines happened and the game was even, and swing. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Just one swing was needed. Fear, this was not the type of game we were expecting to see here in Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he described all the early game, but it really felt like the mid-late game was just, ever since that moment, Bleed were just tilted out of their minds. It's like one hero dies on bottom, you know, Undyne just jumps into his tombstone randomly, just inevitably getting him killed, and then on the top lane as well, heroes are getting picked off. Everywhere you look, they're just kind of like getting picked off one by one, and there wasn't that one moment after that Morphling died and they gave the Aegis up where they went together and tried to make something happen. It just really felt like they were really demoralized by that moment and just couldn't pull it back together.
The radio silence after that moment.
Yeah.
I felt like the whole team just didn't talk after that moment.
Just this moment.
Taking the moment, there it is.
Yeah, but even before that, I just felt like the team, they were like playing without a clear direction. Everyone's just like running around. They didn't really build on the lead. Morph got his axe. They didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, I also noticed that Ice did not like hit a very big amount of spares this game.
Dude,
like,
we were watching the early game. I'm like looking at his hero, like what the hell?
Yeah.
He has max God's rebuild at level 7. Like how?
Yeah. I mean, Misery told me that he's not, you know, particularly confident on Mars, but
Yeah.
they felt like this hero is still like very good for the game, so they went for it. But clearly showed that Ice was not failing that one.
I feel like he was good enough on it. He still had like a lot of good spears in arenas. He definitely missed a lot. It wasn't like a flawless game, but they were definitely in a spot where I feel like their early game was good enough to win them this game if they could just like pull it together.
Yeah.
And I really think just Morph going, you're playing versus techies. It should be no surprise that a hero this popular, techies, loves to mine the twin gate. He does it every single game. Like, you shouldn't be surprised by this play here, and a bit of a mistake by Jackie to just go up there on one of the lowest HP heroes in the game to just scout for his team without even shifting first.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like everybody didn't really shoulder the responsibilities to win them the game. You know, like during the early game, I felt like Corden definitely did his part. He was amazing in the early game. He got a lot of kills for his team, made space for everyone else, and then when it was time to pass the torch to the Morphling, just felt like they didn't really use the time frame. You know, the start was so poor.
Never pass the torch to a Morphling. He is made out of water.
Did anyone enter the tombstone, Jenkins? But LGD, they take game number 1, and again, like we said at the beginning of this series, they really needed at least one.
I love watching this team play. I just feel like, I know I've said this before so many times, but there are so many different ways that they win games. Sometimes they dumpster lanes. Sometimes they out team fight you by just pressing buttons good. Sometimes they know their timings better than you do and they play for the late game. Like, for example, on New, we saw that he went for the BKB first in this game after the Midas rather than going for this like greedy Octarine core build. So he's changing it up in the game depending on what they need. Just a master class in Dota, and the only place, like you've talked about before, where maybe there's some issues for LGD, compared to the old LGD, is that maybe the execution is not perfect like old LGD, but the vibes around everything else is
their game
the
plan
same
is
as
S
LGD.
tier. Game plan is
Yes.
absolute S tier. I don't think there's a better team with game plan, like because xiao8 prepares them, right? And it's showing in every game. It doesn't mean that they're executing perfectly every time, but you can just see by the way they play that they know what they're supposed to be doing, which very entertaining game. Man, that one did not disappoint, I have to say.
That was a goodie.
前段时间熬夜剪视频，把肩给剪伤了，经常脑麻了，一抬头脖子咔咔响，每天就想着怎么放松一下。巧的是，天界妙界私人按摩师让我过上了没羞没臊、随时随地按摩的好日子。要知道，颈椎脊椎的问题很多都是不可逆的。像我们这样常年低头玩手机、脖子前倾看电脑的久坐人啊，正在逐渐成为医院的主力军。不想20岁的年纪，40岁的腰，那一定要尽早开始预防。按摩可以有效疏通经络，提高肌肉活力。但是自己按吧，两手空空；出去按吧，钱包空空。不过如果你跟我一样有妙界按摩枕来帮你按摩，那就真的太酷啦！上半身、下半身、左半身、右半身，全身都可以照顾到。2对子母按摩头在背后，揉捏你、挤压你、推拿你，打通每一处僵硬的肌肉。我通了，我也变强了。3档力度层层递进，搭上42度恒温热敷，再僵硬的腊肉咔咔几下就揉开了。妙界最贴心的弹力带设计，沙发、椅背、车座上任意固定，还能挂在你的腰上不离不弃，无限使用，摆脱充电的束缚。坐着按、站着按、躺着按、趴着按，做你的贴身按摩大师。妙界还保证1年内质量问题免费换新，2年质保，终身免费维护。自己用或者送家人朋友都是健康贴心的好礼。评论区领取大额优惠券，保价到手，全网第一，早买早享受，心动就要抓紧行动了。